There. There. Okay, now I'm audible. I think I'm a bit out of it today. But should be fine now. Should be fine now. Anyway, hello, 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 everybody. Me. Oh yeah. I don't have my hand tracking set up today because I couldn't be bothered. I'm tired. I'm still a bit tired, and that's the long and short of it. I couldn't be bothered. I couldn't be bothered to do. I really want to try and like just unfuck some of the weird stuff and glitchiness that's going on because it's really distracting. Oh, it's like what you're supposed to expect with this kind of thing, but I'm still like. Hello, hello, hello. It's been. One of my monitors is falling down. I really need to get new monitors that can be properly mounted so they stop fucking falling down on me. Oh, my brain is completely fried. Let's do some. I know I usually just dive straight into Shadowverse streams, but I do. Apparently, there's a particularly cursed scrandle, so we gotta scrandle first. We gotta do the scrandle. We scrandling now. Might be yesterday's. I don't know when it updates, but we'll do today's regardless. We might do one more if it's not the fucked up evil scrandle that everyone is talking about. For those who don't know, Scrandle is a game of football stadium food, basically. Well, soccer if you're American. And it's just a delight seeing the kind of awful things that get served at these places. And it takes the like results of the Twitter polls of the Footy Scran account, and you have to guess which one is got more vote, got a better which ones are more Scran. Every Friday is usually Danbo's Hell Scrandle. Ah, I see. Okay, so I think this is the Saturday Scrandle because this is that makes sense. I'm pretty sure Dan would update on British time. Because this is like normal food. It's weird normal food, but it's normal food. Cob on the Tyne and South Shields versus roast potatoes with beef and gravy. Like, I think this just looks incredibly annoying to eat. Out of it is the best status for Card Pack 1 Final Weekly True. We'll get to ranting about Shadowverse in a, well, ranting in Shadowverse in a bit. We must scran first of all. And, I'm going to say, like, this just looks bad. Based on visuals alone, the Cob on the Tyne just looks bad, and I've grown a distaste for just making, like, bread bowl nonsense. It's just kind of people just make it kind of annoying rather than making it anything particularly nice. Yep. Roast potatoes and even gravy. Can't go wrong. Okay. We have a pork sandwich from Brazil. A fish finger sandwich from Holyport FC. And tricky. So far I've generally expected that Brazilian scran is crazy under par, but this one's alright. It's like it's pork, it's onions, it's some kind of sauce. It's probably quite nice in bread. Like, this is just a fish finger sandwich. It is probably very bland. However, you ask Footy Scran followers, they like, I think the sadness of this white bread probably pushes the fish fingers down a bit. Yeah, it's just too sad looking. Sometimes you just have to, oh, it's the terrible pizza from Brazil. This pizza did poorly, so I'm going to assume the acceptable looking cheeseburger, because it's just a burger. It's nothing fancy about it, but it is a burger nonetheless. It has got cheese, it's got some bacon, it's messy because it's a smash burger, because that's a thing. I remember when this pizza came up last time, it was very sad because it's just a sad looking pizza. It's just sad. Yeah. Ooh, ooh. This one's a toughie because that is an exceptionally delicious looking fish and chips from New Zealand. £4.80 fish and chips as well. That's really good price. The Yangnam chicken is also really good in Japan. Thinking, I'm gonna like breeze through this one because I want to get to the hell scrandle. I'm thinking I'm going with the fish and chips. Oh, it was close though. It was so close. Hmm. I think this is an easy win for the chicken tikka naan and chips because this cheeseburger looks like this is chaos, but it's delicious chaos. It looks like a delicious chaos. This is just an incredibly sad cheeseburger. You get so many like this is so common on Scrandle is just the saddest cheeseburger you've ever seen. The cheese isn't even melted. Does this cheese even melt? Is this just like a sheet of yellow plastic, perhaps? Yeah, that's a god sad cheeseburger. Pie mash and gravy versus steak and sausage with rice and beans. Like, this is probably the better, but going by picture alone, it looks bad, and you will not believe how highly, like, Scrandle viewers look like, footy scran followers enjoy just gravy on pie. It always seems to do much higher than you think, so, still higher than I thought, but, Okay, we've got a hot dog that is too long, and deep fried cheese in a roll. And the main thing off with this hot dog is that it has no condiments on it whatsoever. Like, you could not pay me to eat a plain hot dog. Actually, you probably could. It's not that the worst of things. Probably wouldn't take that much, but like, that's just sad. You couldn't have a. Why did you buy the fucking. Hey, yeah, it's trying to leave. Trying to escape. So I think the deep fried cheese in a roll just looks nicer, even if it is a bit cheap. Yeah. Just there's something sad about plain hot dog. Ooh. £15 for a slice of pizza and a can of Coors. America, you have problems. It's like, yeah, America's always so expensive, but this I think is probably the most egregious. Like, £15 is what I'd expect for. Yeah, they charge so much for beer at especially in American stuff, but like, even then, oh, the Nappa's burger just looks like the ultimate. Like that, I'd be surprised if it isn't rated highly. Like, there's nothing you could get through quickly more than the world's most impractical burger at a footy game. Yeah, no one is going, but looks like a nice slice of pizza. Okay. We have Tottenham Hotspur has this fancy fried chicken and chips with buffalo sauce and jalapeno mayonnaise. That looks quite nice. Nice chips, nice chicken, nice sauce. Oh, there's Bognor Regis. We're taking the bus down to Bognor Regis, where we heard that they're panda free. Reference that I don't think anyone else will. I think, despite that being really cheap, this is what I would like. If you gave me the choice of these two, I would buy this because it's £3 and I could just eat it. But if I had to, like, if I wasn't paying for it, I'd want this because it looks delicious. And because it looks delicious, I think it's going to score a lot higher. Yeah. Like, that's cheap, but it also looks quite sad. And we have another sad hot dog. This one looks undercooked. This does not look like you have cooked this hot dog at all. And it is also completely sauceless. So no, I will never vote for a sauceless hot dog. I didn't even look at the other one that much. I was just like, it's better than a sauceless, sad, undercooked hot dog. Alright, let's do yesterday. Because it's the Friday Hell Scrandle. Oh! I see. People weren't kidding. One pot. Like, this is the saddest currywurst I have ever seen. Who are you fooling? How are you allowed to sell this in Germany? Like, you invented the dish. You invented currywurst. You have a very particular way of serving it. One, currywurst does not come with the sausage in one piece. You have it in slices. And two, you have it with actual stuff, not extremely baby, like, uncooked potatoes. But then on the other hand, it's a pear. Like, to be honest, I'm tempted to say the pear because everything outside of the pear looks good. And it's cheaper than the crap currywurst. Like, I could take and leave the pear, to be honest. The pear might be nice, but like, it's got it's got some nice tofu, it's got beans, it's got pear chutney. Like, I will eat the tofu and the beans. I'm not really sure about the pear chutney. But tofu and beans, yeah, sure. Not a high score for either of them. Oh, it's just sad Germany all the way down, I see. Eggs. Eggs. Eggs with mashed potatoes and mustard sauce. You've successfully made an accurate representation of what it would look like if you vomited up your own scrotum. Versus, by the way, a rather lazily prepared mackerel that might be a bit overcooked. But honestly, it's the outside of the mackerel, so it doesn't care if it's burnt. And some butter potatoes and a sad little bit of horseradish. So neither of these things look good. But I think, like, the fish looks edible. I could eat the fish. Because, you just crack that open and then you've got delicious fish inside. Even if it looks a bit manky on the outside of the fish doesn't fucking matter. It's what's inside the fish that counts. Meanwhile, vomited scrotum eggs. I would run a mile if you put this before me. Wow, yes. How is that score so high? How did vomited scrotum score so high? Alright, as I said, it does still seem to be the nightmares from Germany, and we seem to be having a competition for just not giving a shit whatsoever. We have a marinated block of tofu versus some bulgur and vegetable mush. with dip. It's not dip if it's on. Okay, it's not dip if it's on top of the stuff. Then it's a sauce. Have failed in basic classifications. It's dip if it's in a little bowl or on the side that you dip your stuff into. One, nothing of this is dippable. There is nothing in this that you can pick up with your hands. And two, it is on top of the food. Thusly, it is a sauce. I think the question is, how much of Daily Scran people do hate fucking tofu? Because honestly, I would eat this. Even the tofu is a kind of bit weird. The noodles look nice. Glass noodles look nice. It looks like that's well seasoned and edible. So even if I'm like, oh god, something's horribly wrong, it's tofu, I could at least eat that. The bulgur just looks bland and unappetizing. Yep. Generally bland results. Oh boy, soup! We have potato soup, smoked pork. Honestly, doesn't look too bad. That looks like a perfectly fine soup. This is boiled beef with potatoes, minced applesauce, sour cream, and rice knuckle soup. Rice knuckle soup looks very sad. But that is also I was about to say that's a lot of stuff, but then I realized, hang on, that's £2.85. This is very small. I bet you this is fucking tiny. Oh, what's wrong with the potato soup? It looks fine. It looks like good soup. Some people just don't appreciate... Like, soup never looks particularly amazing. Still tasty. Okay, now we've gotten on to food that looks edible. Like, pizza with spinach and feta cheese. With a bowl of lentil potato salad. Peppers on it. This is half a roast chicken with Mediterranean pasta salad. It's just the audacity to just sell... Just, like, not even have the chicken, like, diced or anything, or shredded, or and mixed with the salad. It's just the whole fucking half a roast chicken in there. You just slam that on and put some pasta on the side. And honestly, for £4.50, that's not bad. Like, together it's a bit stupid, but it's still, like, edible food. And so is this edible food. This is really close. I have a hard time picking between the two. Like, I personally wouldn't want the pizza with spinach and feta cheese, but I know some people who would love that. But I think the people who are talking about footy scran, they're going to see half roast chicken and vote for that. And, oh my god, that was... Fucked it. Turns out pizza is all... Like, yeah, it's hard call. Hard call between, like, half a whole roast chicken and a fucking pizza. I suppose pizza's better for scran because it's easier to eat without... Easier to eat. Anyway, we're now on to things that look a bit sad. So we have soy slices with goulash sauce and bread dumplings. Don't think that's what you call a bread dumpling, but whatever. Soy curry with fruit. There's fruit in here, apparently. Also pasta. Cauliflower. Oh, this one's also not... I haven't really been paying attention. I thought they were all German, but no, this one's from Czech. Czech Republic. I think the soy slices with goulash sauce looks more appetizing. Like, this looks like whatever soy meat replacement they use is a bit mushy. This looks like actually good soy meat replacement. Yeah, I was right. A nice drink. Oh boy. Back to sad versus sad. We have a vegetarian enchilada with this is entire... No, this... Oh, because the roast chicken. It hasn't been a vegetarian scrandle. Like, depending on what's actually in the enchilada, it could be very nice. But on the outside appearances, it looks sad and depressing. But then so does boiled eggs and risole potatoes. Which looks like if you ate 3 large pebbles in order to induce vomiting and then threw them up onto a plate and then put some potatoes on it. So I'm going to go with the enchilada because it just looks a bit sad rather than looking actually unappetizing. That was close. That was too close. Why was that so close? Why that many people voting for the vomit eggs? Whole wheat spaghetti with pine? Oh no, don't put pineapple in spaghetti, no. Versus potatoes and quark. There is whatever the fuck this is, apparently, is called quark. I thought quark was a fundamental particle. What you do? Like, everything's got quark in it. What do you mean you've made a stodgy mess out of just quark? That's not how it works. Everything is just quarks when you get down to it. I know I'm being facetious here, but like I did physics at school. I get to be pretentious about these things. I hate both of these. And like, this looks fine until you read the ingredients. Like, pineapple in a pasta sauce. You know what, fuck it. Wow, it was close though. People really did not like the pineapple. I was just going based on looks because I hated both of those. This is... You know, like, the coloring makes this look bad, but like, that's a pretty solid paella. And like, the squid ink stuff being on the side is fine. Like, I don't care for squid ink stuff. I think I tried like squid ink flavored stuff once, and I thought the ink made it taste terrible, and then it stains all your mouth, and it's horrible. But like, I would pay £4.80 at a footy scran game for this paella. That is a perfectly good looking paella. It's a paella in Spain. Like, you can't go wrong with like getting a paella in Spain. It'll be even the like shittiest, cheapest paella you find in Spain will be better than almost any paella you get in like the England or whatever. Versus a slice of hot dog pizza. Yeah, I'm voting. I think I'm clicking on the seafood and meat paella. Because this just looks weird. Like, maybe if it didn't have the gherkins in it as well, maybe I'd be on board with that. Maybe that's just my distaste of gherkins is just throwing me off this. And people apparently love the hot dog and gherkin sliced pizza. But no. You can really tell how many people don't like squid ink because of how... If that was just the paella, I think it would have scored a lot higher. I see we're ending it on something. You've got toast Hawaii and a fruit yogurt. There's what, a slice of pineapple, and is it got cheese melted on it? Ugh. Versus a Flammkuchen. Greek style Flammkuchen. Greek style meaning unclear. I think the Greek style implies that this is just feta cheese. They've just put feta cheese all over it. I think that's the thing. I think it's just... It's feta cheese and some salad dress, another like... Maybe souvlaki. I think that's what they intended by Greek. It's still... It's probably better than toast Hawaii. the slice of bread with a fucking pineapple and cheese, and it's got tomato sauce under it. I don't know what this little red thing is. Is it like a cherry or a tomato? We don't know. It's a mystery. Whatever it is, it makes it look diseased. So, I think we're going to vote for the Flammenkuchen. Just because it's probably nice. It's basically feta cheese and some other bits on what looks like a pizza crust. Yeah, that's actually edible. Just clinched it. You know, we're done. Scrandle is over now. Well, what a day! What a day to scram. Yes, means. God, learning so much about Scram. True, it is a crazy place. Greek style meaning unclear. As I said, I think I fairly deduced that just means, we've put loads of feta on it. You can basically people just say that. They just say, we have made something Greek style. What do you mean by that? We have just loaded the damn thing with feta cheese. It's like, that's not necessarily Greek style. That just means it's with feta cheese. You can just say it's with feta cheese. People will eat that. People like feta cheese. Anyway. Now let's get on to the real meat of the thing. Wow. Cards. I don't have special. Finding it. Headphones was my. I don't know what the fuck's gone wrong, but like my Windows no longer lets me put audio through my HDMI cable, which is annoying because I need to put it for the HDMI cable for my headphones, because I've got my headphones linked up to whether or not something goes, because I use that for when I'm doing stuff that's not going through the computer when I'm doing like console stuff. I haven't been able to have my headphones working on my PC unless I manually go and unplug my speakers and plug the headphones in, because I've only got one working audio jack on the PC, and it's like, ah! I used to just be able to pipe it through the HDMI cable and then into my headphones through the monitor. Stop being able to do that for some reason. I haven't been able to fix it. I've tried everything. But sir, it is time for weekend tournament. I need to turn on streamer mode because I don't want to get pinged by messages in the chat. Lost him on stream because I just get. I did get through. Oh no, I'm advancing to final stage in Group B. I fucked up. Might need to do so. I still need to change the rules a bit. That confused me. I thought I was finished. Anyway, I probably won't do that on stream. I'll probably do that on my own time. Gotta go to the weekend tournament, the last weekend tournament of Legends Rise meta. There we go, you pick my main artifact. I'm gonna stick with this. This is what's getting me the most success so far. This is my girls only artifact deck. Which means my filler 2 drop of choice ended up being Bellringer Angel. Because I just find like just having a little bit more consistency of having a bit of card draw helps the deck a whole lot. And she's cheaper than you do. And I've already got added a bunch of 3-drops by adding Kitty Cannoneer, so I just find the 3 Bellringer Angels just help an awful lot. Otherwise, it's mostly Artifact Portal. This is like I don't put Puppeteer in the deck. Like I could put Puppet Theater in this 2-drop slot, but I find it not as useful. I'd rather have a body and card draw because the puppets just tend to gum up my hand. I'm just like, I've had so many games where Puppet Theater has just like been, oh, you just have to burn puppets, like throw out puppets for no reason because you're overdrawing now. So it's just like, like the best card there is like, there were some more reveals, quite a few reveals. They have revealed a Portal Craft card, an artifact, one Portal Craft card so far, a gold card, that is a 2-play.22 that makes an artifact, so exactly what we need. I'd quite happily replace Bellringer Angel with that. It also has a very interesting evo, because she has an evolve effect that makes an artifact in your hand have immunity to destruction effects and ward, which does make stuff like Doomrite Resurgence a lot stronger. It also makes your the stuff you get off Alouette and Ralmir a lot stronger because it's immune to, it limits your opponent's removal options for it. Also, you can also use it to make your Masterwork immune to getting like bonked off by a cheap Bane follower, which is its main weakness. So that is a bit of a risky because you you have to have an Evo point left by the time that you have to use an Evo point for it, and you also just have to commit to having the Masterwork in hand early, which can be a bit of a misplay because if you're not entirely sure what your opponent's going to do on the turn. Does limit your flexibility down a lot. They might do something where you're like, I would have rather played Ralmir this turn, but I can't play Ralmir because I consolidated all my artifacts early so that I could buff up because I could put a little bit of protection onto the big guy. Though does also mean that does also work pretty well. Does also make the heal, the 3/5 heal artifact a lot more enticing because that's the best thing to give ward to, and making something with the most defense and immune to destruction is always the more preferable option. It might not make much of a difference to the 5/3 that you can just bump a hit with a Stream of Life or any other similar removal, but the 5 defense thing is a lot harder to deal with. Let's put our deck, get started on the tournament, and let's see how we do. Can I get a 4-0 in the Legends Rise meta? Hi, Yudi. Yeah. Look at all these people. All of them. There's a lot of interesting reveals. I'll probably go over the reveals after the tournament. I don't know if I'll play some games after the tournament or if I'll just spend the entire stream talking about the reveals so far. Because they are real interesting. Alright, here we go. Alright, buddy. I should have checked the bracket. I don't know if we would have been able to see the bracket to see who I'm fighting first. Alright, first up is Havencraft. Interesting. Havencraft going second. Okay. Well, one and a half. turn 1 pass. Not very rare to see from Haven. I've only really got the one. Dark Haven Grace early is very annoying. Early pressure! They're just going to keep healing 1 health every turn. Question is, do I plus... Well, yeah, there's going to be so much water. I think I do play out Rukna because I need to keep the early pressure on. Which is a good... Like, I don't have anything else to play. They play a body, I can bullet it and Evo Rukna to put up a annoying board. I still like take a lot of damage from get bodied by Salafa, but that's also not too bad. The main thing I don't want to see is second. Okay, I just. Okay. Oh, of course I draw Alouette this turn. Bastards. I guess I'm just not playing anything this turn, because if I play... No, I'm going to do it this way. I'm going to make a ward. This is, I think this is in Stormhaven. Make a ward. Play this. Evolve Rukna. And Bong there. So this kind of like forces them to respond to this board with Salafa. But if they do Salafa, they still can't. Okay, filled out. That's also fine. So when we do that, we'll buff him with that, and then this is still like, as you can see, there's still a really good situation for me. So I need to bonk. Do I need to bonk that? Yeah, I do, because even if I Ancient Cannon, I'm not going to have enough artifacts to use, and I also need to start doing that. So I think I need to do an aggressive Alouette this turn. Or do I? I think actually... Alouette. I think I go for board clear rather than face damage here. It's a tough call, actually. Like, board clear... Like, face damage makes me... Board clear is strong against Salafa. No, it's not really that strong against Salafa. I think I'm going to go for aggressive face damage. I've got 2 Orcus in hand. I'm going to be more aggressive. Maybe they simply don't have Salafa in hand. Like, ideally, I would still have Elise on the field for an extra point of damage, but... Unholy Vessel, that's fine. In this case, I think I just play Ominous for the damage. And then Orcus the next turn. I don't think it's worth... I've got 2 Orcus in hand. I don't think it's worth waiting on anything else. I just want to Orcus and then Orcus again. That's the game plan here. And they're dead. Like, you can heal all you want, but you can't out-heal the Orcus damage that's about to come to your face. Let's do the premium Orcus. Yeah. Good start. Good start. Just a clean, aggressive start against Haven. What's going up on the monitors? We've got Portal Mirror. Oh god, this is going to take fucking forever. Artifact versus Puppets, the classic showdown. Puppets being like, oh no, like a turn 5 play. Puppet is really kind of like sad on turn 5. It has so few plays so far, so maybe they'll get a 5 drop in the next set. Puppet, and then Noah. Easy portal. You get Noah, they've got a buffed up enhanced, so their Orcus turn is real scary. What's the artifact players play here? They don't have... Well, they have a Bullet from Beyond, which might just be the play. So the Bullet from Beyond or Doom... Right, the Doom Writing, okay. I'd honestly Bullet from Beyond here over Doom Writing. It's better to acquire more artifact. You meld... Actually, can they actually meld anything? They can. They can make Alpha, which is kind of unbad. So they might just have to... I'd just ditch one of the... No, they're Doomwrite. They're still unsure if they want to Doomwrite or Bullet, I think. I think... Yeah, okay, they're bulleting. No, they're Puppet and Doomwriting. Weird play. Why play the Puppet, then? Why? That's just a waste of a Puppet. Very confused by that play. I don't think they thought that through properly. I think the turn time was starting to get to them and they panicked. Like, the only reason to play the Puppet there is to, yeah, he doesn't care about overdrawing the puppets, he just wants to buff up his hand for a scarier Orcus turn. He just wants to buff around in a scarier Orcus turn. So now... Yeah, they're going to use their Orcus to push some damage. But, like, Puppet's going to have a much scarier Orcus turn. Especially since they have the bonus play points, so they can just clear out with the weaker Puppets and then drop the enhanced Puppets to do more, to go all face. No, that's a lot of damage, but I think they probably Orcus here, yeah. Whether or not they use the 5-3 and like it's probably the best chance to use the 5-3 enhanced Puppet for damage as well. I think the Puppet will this flag. The artifact player made a big mistake when they didn't use... Because Bullet from Beyond against the Orcus board is kind of useless because it usually only kills Lloyd. They got Sylvia to recover from this at the very least. If I'm the Puppet player, at the very least, I like the... One of the thing is, you are burning a lot of damage by trading, but you got options. You got a lot of damage, and I think it's better to keep a bigger board, especially against Artifact Cannon. Oh, going full aggression, trading in Lloyd. They do not. That's honestly not a bad idea. And I guess yeah, if they're not playing the enhanced Puppet this turn. And like the Lloyd saves them from Bullet from Beyond, so not entirely sure that was the correct play, but I think they want to play Sylvia for the heal here, so otherwise they run a risk of dying horribly. We got a Revo to take out Orcus. So I think because the Puppet player wants to play point out this Liam. They don't have any zero-cost Puppets in hand, so the Liam is only 6 times up. I'd play the Orcus here because you've got the enhanced in hand. Yeah. Actually, I think this just kills. I think with the 5... Yeah, this kills with the 5-3 enhanced Puppet. The good top decking that... Without that Orcus, they were in a problem, but... They drew Orcus, so it's fine. There's still some matches. Oh, God. Got a turn 13 match and a turn 12 match. Just draw Orcus, easy game. Yeah, exactly. That's how Puppet be winning. You gotta help the blue side. They're losing quite badly. Ugh. Of all the like sport game options in the in this, the football is by far the worst one because it just seems to be the most fucked up by lag. Air hockey seems to be the most reliable one of them to actually play, but they're all just like, yeah, no, I can't be bothered. Yeah, the tournament. There's always the weekly tournament. I mean, you've still got like the weekly tournament will also be tomorrow. So I've learned I'm not actually as done with the Grand Prix as I was. I haven't actually made it. I didn't realize that even if you, for some reason, I thought that it said it gave me the proceeded to final stage message, and I thought that meant I got to a Group A final stage. But no, 3 wins is Group B final stage. So I might need to do some Grand Prix, but I'll do that on my own time, I think. I think this stream will just be tournament, and then talking about new cards. Have... slow game. Someone's dying at the very least, so could be over soon, maybe. Can't spectate. The other tournament matches are only what gets played on the big screen. Cruelty of the monitors. First card set coming June 17th. Next week. This is... Okay, it's over. I'm going to bet that the person with the Dryzen lobby avatar was playing Portalcraft, and this other person was probably playing like either Swordcraft or also Portalcraft. And what have we got? We're up against Swordcraft. Person's in an S rank guild. Oh my. Still only. That's Harurara. She's playing Horsecraft. God, there's going, when they eventually do the Uma Musume collab, it's going to be a shock if Harurara isn't one of the picks. Surely they won't just do the same leaders that they did in the classic collab. Alright, Swordcraft. This can either go really well or really badly, with no in between, and it could go really long! I kind of want to... No, I need more early draws, but I do need to keep Ancient Cannon, so I can't keep both of Alola and Ancient Cannon. Okay, that's a lot better. Like, the ideal is I get to keep both. Oh, well, and I draw Alola anyway. We live in a perfect world, apparently, but will this actually continue to be a perfect world? Orcus is good, not awful. You don't have a turn 3 play, which is... There's also a Marina. They're gonna want to trade, unless they play a second Apollo, they're going to want to trade, so... Could make a ward here, but then that's burning resources I'm gonna need later, so I don't think it's... but otherwise I'm not playing anything. Yeah, I'm playing Rukana next turn, so actually I think making a ward here is fine. And deals with a lot of sword bullshit. Okay, excellent. And now we want to trade because that's just an efficient trade. And we've got options for next turn, depending on what they do. If they Zirconia... This is actually a really good board against Zirconia because they can't... If they Zirconia, they can't actually deal with Rukina. But they filled out. But I think in this... he's only going on 3. I think I still probably... awkward choice, actually, now. I think I still... I think it's worth setting up Ancient Cannon here, actually. Because I am then on a bit of a... No, I commit too hardly to a card that might not help me out if I play Ancient Cannon here. I'll play Ancient Cannon alongside, like, a Stream of Life or something. For this, I need to present a board that Sorg doesn't like. I want to, like, preserve strength on Alouette because it makes, like, Hounds less good. As much as I'd like to develop Ancient Cannon, I don't want to make more aggressive play and also just not leave them too much. Luminous Mage is fine. Okay, Zirconia. This I can manage. How I want to manage it is the question. Oh, that's a perfect draw. So we need to bonk one of these to guarantee that this takes out Zirconia before doing anything else. Does mean we commit to heal, but that's fine, it's a good artifact. We take out the Zirconia without spending any of it. So now I just need 3 more artifacts generated. At least one more. Okay, there's Jinna, which is... I'll probably have to... a Bullet from Beyond, perfect. Because I need to set up artifact. I'm going to Stream of Life the 1/1 so that I have more artifacts to... I have more fusion triggers for the realm. Actually, I'm probably still only going to have 1 fusion trigger because I'm probably making either a striker reward here to fill out this board, but they don't have the bonus play point, and they don't have anything to attack into Gino, so I'll probably... So I can make a very annoying... Okay, so they're just making that. So I either make a Realmia board and... I think the Realmia board is stronger than the Realmia board plays better against Amalia than Orcus does. Because Amalia just can't clear a Realmia board while she can clear an Orcus board. I can save the Orcus for later, so we want to make a board here. Don't really care about the shot, we just want. Do I Super Evo is the question. think I do because again, it's just really makes Amalia very sad. Like, not actually necessary, I was going to clear that off anyway, but this does just present a really annoying board for Amalia. Because they will have to trade in literally all of their followers. Because it means this being at 2 means that their knights, yeah. That being at 2 means their knights have to die when they trade in, or otherwise they would still be alive. Now they have to leave one of these alive. It's probably going to be the heal. It's the less annoying one. Or they leave Realmir alive. Is also fine. These two trade into. And then, ooh, that's a perfect draw. Because it means we now have enough artifacts for. This is an interesting choice here, but I do need to play this to establish. Play that. Then I do have to use. So let's just make sure I don't fuck up later. Again, that shot does, like, our cannon hasn't actually been doing that much work, but we're just doing this to gain some cards. Bolt that to blow up there. Bonk face. The thing don't need to worry about overdrawing next turn. And this just presents a really annoying board for Sword to deal with. Like, if they Amalia a second time, yeah, Amelia I can deal with. Amelia Luminous is annoying, but manageable. Like, I do... So yeah, it's obviously it stops... If I'm... Yeah, it stops me killing them with Masterwork, which is very annoying, obviously. But... And also it stops me, very annoying in general. Yeah, I think I do have to Sylvia here to just, like, blow up. So I don't have the risk. Okay, so if we... Dream. We're kind of like taking some pot shots to try and take out barriers efficiently. That's not efficiently. Also not efficiently, but whatever. Another fusion. Fuck. I ran out of time. Oh! What the fuck? Did I just get the heal from Sylvia without playing her? Very strange. Yeah, I ran out of time. That's probably lost me the game. They don't have Super Evo for Albert. Like, it would be a meaningful cheat if it was theirs, but like... Yeah, they're just gonna bonk me in the face and I'm going to go away. Yeah, running out of time sucks! They're not bonking me with Albert yet. They're very strange. Very strange occurrence there. Yeah, they're very scared about me, like, having anything on board. Making a couple of dudes. Thankfully they don't get things. Okay, what the fuck do I do here is the question. I've survived, but I really don't... Actually, my hope... Yeah, actually, I can commit the big robot this turn and just bonk them in the face. Because it's actually worked out, but this means I've saved my Super Evo for Orcus next turn. Eh? So as long as they don't heal above... As long as they don't heal... So actually, I can still win this. I still have a very good chance of winning this. Amalia does not help them. They cannot, like, they don't have the Super Evo to give things barrier. I've actually won this despite that. Yeah, that means nothing. That means absolutely nothing. Like, I got many answers to this, but... Like, if they took out the... Like, yeah, this is the best answer because I don't have the board space for the full board space for Orcus. The other answer was just Orcus them to death because I only need one puppet to get through. So somehow, like that like the glitch disconnection heal did not matter, I'm going to say, and arguably saved me from myself. What's up on the screen? It's Portalcraft versus Runecraft. Hybrid, like, Runecraft's running a lot more dirt stuff. Quite interesting. They did not kill Orcus. Interesting. Well, but Orcus could not hit face, so... What do you get if you win all the matches in the tournament? You get prizes. All the matches have ended. Let's just see. Do we get to see? This says stop Liam, so oh, Demonic Call also does. They could have done Demonic Call first and gain stats. I need to check what my yeah, this is the full rewards for coming in first. Okay, we don't get to see how this ends, but I think the Runecraft player won that. Yeah, Liam without fucking Evo is not particularly good. This is Bizcraft. This person's hyped for Kinsetsu and her girlfriend to come back. Okay, I think I'm just gonna keep this entire hand. Just really strong. Yeah, I think one of the rewards is the main reward for going 4-0 is the Seer's Globe. Otherwise, most of the rewards are the same as going 3-1. But just curving out into Alouette is really good. Just putting a ward in the way of Abyss. I guess sure, you have that guy out. Oh, not risk it over. Wait, no. Important. Nearly forgot. Important for morale. Okay, we need to get some stuff in our hand, out of our hands, so... Almost certainly going to be, like, I'm almost certainly going to be board clearing with Alouette against Abyss, especially once they go into turn 4 with Evo, so... with their early aggression, take out that trade. Because, like, even if it's just... That's annoying. Depends what they leave on the board, actually. They might still trade with Bone Mancer and then use okay. Double dingo. Oh my gosh. That is quite a pain in the ass, actually. Okay, they are trading with that. That's fine then. This is all fine and good and great. Right, so we make our board clear arena. Play the first Alaware. This does mean I don't get to hit them with this mostly does mean they're protected from, because I can't obviously swing, because my board clear is the end of turn, I can't actually swing through the wards. No point me attacking because everything will die to the thing, and I just need to make some space. I will a rush, I think. And it still presents an annoying board because they don't really want to leave, like, they don't really want to leave any of these cards alive. Next turn's a bit awkward. My hand is too full of stuff. Please give me something I can play my kitty into. Yeah, serious. The devious lesser mummy, which will be used to trade, I assume. Okay. Might just have to burn a card here, because I don't think... So my choice is... Oh... I think I actually... No, I think I just, Kitty and you do. Yeah. Kind of a... Trade that cleanly. We do this to put some space in our hand for next turn. And Medusa. Okay. In that case, this is again going to ban me with way too many goddamn cards. I'm actually going to overdraw here, and there's not much I can do about it. If I overdraw, unless they for some reason don't clear Bellringer. Anyway, we want this because this means I can bump off this Medusa. It's like I can either avoid overdrawing or not have my board clear artifact. Is real annoying. No, I've got Realmir in hand. I don't need to worry too much about overdrawing. I need to keep. I've got all the core components in my hand, so like if anything I overdraw isn't actually too scary. Mina to take out a Bellringer. Shadow Crypt. Ooh, okay, they're prepping for... Okay, I'm like burden fucking nothing, so it's fine. Not having this kind of board is slightly annoying, but it can be fine. Want to just... I think I just play out... and then... You together, so I've got full set. Then last play point, we artifact recharge. And I think I still want, especially if I'm going into Cerberus next turn, I definitely want to have the striker over anything else. But, you know, Cerberus is an 8/8, everything else is going to get board wiped, so think I want the ward, actually. Question is, do I Super Evo for damage? I think I do, actually. Because I Super Evo and this forces them to do a defensive Cerberus or die to Orcus. The ward is also surprisingly annoying for Cerberus, because they want to bump Cerberus into this because it's more efficient. But they want, yeah, because this will, now, they can't, yeah, they're having to do a defensive Cerberus, and they have to do one trade with a ghost. The thing is, I'm pretty sure, unless they trade both these... Okay, they're doing the smart thing, trading in their heal first, so Orcus is lethal. If Orcus isn't lethal... Do I still want to Orcus, then, is the question. Or do I want to Realmia this turn? I think I want to Realmia this turn. Just an aggressive... Realmia to set up the kill next turn. Because now, like, Cerise does also screw me over, though. But I can work with that. I can always... sod it. You just make the main gang. Make them real big. Then also Cerise means they're not like... I fucked up! I thought that was enough to kill. I miscalculated, of course. Why did I think Cerberus was only... Why do I keep thinking Cerb is only an 8/8? When Super Evo'd. She's a 9/9. It's too warm. Too frazzled. Am I dead? What? 14 damage. I need 3 more damage. Do they have 3 damage? Yes, they do. Fuck! I threw that. I should have Orcused or bulleted. I had so many ways to not die there, and I made the wrong play. That feels bad. That feels bad to just make a misplay. Okay, Runecraft doing Runecraft things. Runecraft I seem to be doing points. Oh, they've got, fuck, they did the fucking decline. Go on, decline. Ooh, that's scary. Don't think Portalcraft's player is winning this. You can make a double board clear that still won't kill the board. You make a triple board clear that... Okay, they've got an out here. Surprisingly, they had an out. That's quite impressive. Like, they didn't need the triple board, they only need the double, of course. Runecraft has their second Kuon into second decline. But they also don't have any Evo points. Like, Sage Light Clear doesn't actually do that much. It only kills stuff that's about to die anyway. I guess it also puts them within range of, it puts their board in range. Now the question is, how the hell does the Bottlecraft player deal with the second 10-10? Is the problem here. Orcus is how. Top decking Orcus is how. But it still doesn't leave them with much option for dealing with. You know, that's still pretty good. They have the confidence with that. They're clinging on. One of those games where Portal just kind of like clings on. Runecraft can either... I think, yeah, they're going to... that is a powerful Stormy Blast. And then doing a regular too. Like, knowing what's in the opponent's hand, you drop the big robot here. Yeah, they're dropping the big robot. Their only real option here. Bracket looking like, okay. Oh no, it's a portal mirror! Now the Runecraft player is in a bit of a pickle. Does Idlewice actually... oh no, they can clear it because they top deck a solution. Oh, battle time. Don't get to see the end of it, but I know this is going to drag on way too long. Like, the Portal player could technically still win that. Like, it'll take a few more turns. Okay. Can I at least go 3-1? Only silly matches in this game, true. Going first, I don't want Stream of Life. And I don't want to keep Realmia around later. If I had a more aggressive, a better score, I would already want to keep Realmia. This is good. Be curving. The Portal Mirror. I want to find Portal Mirror. Interesting choice to take out the zero attack follower. I guess it's like, done like, oh, it's a 2 play point follower, I should really take out that one. They're hard conditioning to a lot of early fusions. It's turn 4, so their main play is Rukina herself, and they don't have their extra play point, so their main play is Rukina herself. So it's a kind of a toss. I think I want to play my Rukina because that means I can play Ruby, Miriam, and Ironheart, possibly Evo to clear up next turn. So even if they if they're gonna Rukina Evo. Bong bong. I forgot to, after calling them out for fusing too early, I forgot to fuse. Oh, they didn't Evo. What are you up to, friend? Okay, well first... Then... Actually here I'm gonna drop Bell Ring and I do a fairly aggressive Evo. This basically protects me against Alouette or anything. Like, if they Alouette for board clear, then I still have Rukina on board, and I get to push a lot of damage. And I have the cards to push, just go super aggressive. They don't play Alouette, they lose. They could hard cast the board clear as well, but again, that still doesn't get them through the Bellringer angle to punch through the Rukina. Bulleting from Beyonding. Interesting. Making arms. Let's see. This is going to be just a game of very aggressive evos on my end. I am stopping them from having any breathing room whatsoever. I will force them to make a fucking Sylvia next turn. To do a heal Sylvia next turn. So I will... Artifact recharge. Make some damage. Like, we are not going to turn 10. We don't care about keeping it. I do not care about these Realmiers. We're going to Evo Bellringer because this damage is hard draw, and I don't because Judy's just going to. Right, now they're on 2 health. Their only option this turn is Sylvia. Yep, there's Sylvia. Probably Sylvia's super Evo, yeah. Oh, perfect. So, I need to get some to consolidate artifacts into that. To make another face damage one, basically. We're not pushing face damage this time. I'm tempted to Super Evo Elise here because it means that that's 4 damage. If they Sylvia again, they only heal to 7. They only heal up back to 7, and that means that they die to Orcus. I'm gonna do this because this guarantees us the win. Like, this is pretty much checkmate. Like, best they can do is... Realmia for a board that does not save you, because you only heal for 3. It is over! 3-1, baby! I'm not gonna. Turn 8, game too fast. I love when I get to just play Artifact Portal as pure aggro. You can't do it too often, mostly just against Runecraft. They had a particularly slow start that I kind of had the perfect counterplay to. Well, apparently the final game went out pretty fast. This one probably isn't going to. Now we're just left. These fools. Man, like, I'd like to say if I hadn't made that mistake against Cerberus, then I would have gone 4-0. But, like, obviously, if I had won that game, I would have had a different... I'd be going up against the other person who went 3-0. So, there was, like, no guarantee I would win that 4th game either. Because that would be a lot harder. But oh well, no, I will happily accept a record of 2-3-1s and 1-2-2 in the weekly tournaments for Legends Rise. That I'm pretty, I'd say, yeah, I am good at the card game Shadowverse Worlds Beyond. Oh god, this one's going to be a drag. I can roughly guess. Here's where fancy game knowledge. So they were at this Arona girl. She was at what, 8 life? Oh no, she's 9. She's on 3. The character model is laughing because the idle animations are all randomized. So yeah, okay, so because I thought she had like pointed out the giant robot, but I don't think which the other player just kind of like punched through for a lot of damage. I feel like this guy's probably playing Swordcraft for that kind of damage. Could be playing Runecraft actually. He did do a solid. He did do like 10 a turn. That's a Runecraft. Could be Runecraft. In a very commanding position at the very least. But if he's out of Evo points and he's playing Runecraft, okay, it's over. He does, unless he's playing Roach. But if he was playing Roach, it wouldn't have gone to turn 10. Okay. There we go. Guess we see the winner in a second. Thank you. I love a pat on the head from my senpai. Oh, she did win! That's pretty wild. She was like 3 health on turn 10 with opponent. Maybe she was playing Roach. That was quite the upset. I'm trying to think, what decks can put out 17 damage in a single turn, apart from like, I guess maybe she was playing Runecraft as well. Actually see what the... She was playing Runecraft, okay, so it was probably, so yeah, it does have access to OTK, so it's probably, game going on that long was probably, Prince of Coctus? Is the Prince of Coctus D-shift into... into kill, or various other ways that Runecraft can kill from 17. Could have done the go on OTK. Who else was? Oh no, that wasn't the 4-4 matches. That was this person. That was Arona who got 3 wins. So they still won that though, I think. Because they were, fuck. Of course people would call it that. Or if you want to be... I think people should call it the funnier alternative, which is Cock Climb. I think that's hilarious. Far better and funnier name for it. But yes, I need to take a quick break because I need to go to the bathroom. And then probably spend some time rambling about the reveal card. Maybe there's been some more reveals I haven't seen yet. I'm gonna check. For now. Just me. I'm probably just gonna like take some screen grabs from the Shadowverse GG page. That'll have like the card themselves and the stuff. So be right back. mean, my microphone was muted. Shit. Too warm. Miscalculated damage. Forgetting to turn my microphone off. It's too fucking warm. I do have. Delicious cold beverage in a can. We don't need to worry about this one. This one was Shadowcraft Evolve. So let's just go through the reveal cards. There's been like at least one new reveal card that I hadn't seen before. So first, on the flagship boys, is Odin, Violet Fate. Odin's been a kind of like, he's been a very recurring card in Shadowverse. He's generally done somewhat similar things. This is very reminiscent of his original iteration, where he's a storm that has fanfare, select an enemy card on the field and banish it. He's a 7 play point 4/2 storm. In original Shadowverse, he was an 8 play point 3/3 and had basically the same effect. It was a slower game back then. Like, it was too slow, because everyone played Control. No one was happy. Well, this is interesting because this shows the first case of being able to remove enemy amulets. So this makes Haven a bit sad. It's also like the first this unconditional banish effect we've seen. Slightly further Odin to approach to slap Otahimi out of your board. Yep. It does in fact make aggro dragon a little sad. I think by the time Odin drops, they've probably gotten enough value out of their Otohime, so it's not that big of a deal to aggro dragon than it is to, say, Haven if you pop their Dark Haven Grace or one of their really annoying. It's really annoying against Artifact Portal because it kills your fucking artifact, your ancient cannon. But he's like, so you'll probably see a fair few of him. He's probably got like mostly in more aggressive decks. I can see Aggro Sword really liking this guy because it means they can be both Aggro Sword and Storm Dragon will probably really like Odin because it presents you with a way to remove a threat and remove a blocker and like remove a ward or a card that's otherwise going to threaten to kill you if you can't kill your opponent this turn, and deal a decent chunk of damage. Like, it's good to play alongside, like in Aggro Sword, it's another good card to play alongside your Kagetsu. Your Kage and that, like, Aggro Dragon is just like, yes, I would like to have another thing. This is the smallest arse Odin has ever had. Because he's usually had at least three defense, and now he only has 2 because he's much more. He's much more aggressively costed. Makes sense. So yeah, if there are like really, really problematic amulets or last words cards, then Odin will see more play. Like, he does mean that Lapis is a bit sad. Most Haven decks are cutting Lapis anyway. But like that kind of means you have to kind of like guarantee being able to kill your own Lapis on your turn, either through railing her or using the cup to blow her up, or being able to evolve and crash her into something. If she sticks on the board, you are at risk of just having her banished and not getting her crest effect. And next is a card very excited for. Setsu and Yuzuki are back. The two the hottest ladies in Shadowcraft and Bloodcraft, of course, united in holy matrimony and girl kissing under Abysscraft. So now we can all say there is the incredible positive of Bloodcraft and Shadowcraft being merged into Abysscraft because it means we get Yuri of the best girls. And it's a very powerful card, so it's a 9-drop 9/9. And you get to pick one or two modes. One, basically a mode based on Gensetsu, the fox, the nine-tailed fox, and Yuzuki, the crazy demon lady. Demon samurai assassin. I can't remember what her entire deal is. I know she's hot. That's it. So the Gensetsu mode summons 4 copies of One-Tailed Fox, which was Gensetsu's primary follower before. She always been summoning these. It's a 2.23. It's got Rush, Ward, and Last Words. Give Gensetsu and Yuzuki +1/+0. In this mode, it's a very similar card to Amalia in Swordcraft, in the fact that it's a tall, threatening body with a bunch of rush wards. So whereas Amalia's, the wards are more aggressive because they're 3/2s, here the wards are more defensive because they're 2/3s. And like, so that's quite a powerful option for Abysscraft, because if it's very difficult for a lot of decks that aren't like Havencraft or Dragoncraft, and even some Dragoncraft decks don't run the Twilight Dragon, so they don't have the powerful board to be able to deal with both a tall follower and a wide board. This is why Amalia is quite powerful and quite dangerous, because you're usually forced into a situation where you either are clearing the board but leaving Amalia alive, or killing Amalia and leaving some of their followers alive, which is a very dangerous threat when Albert is dropping next turn. In this case, the threat on that is Cerberus. If you leave a board alive on Abysscraft and after turn 8, they can just Cerberus it and do a shitload of damage to you. Because they don't even need the Super Evo for that, because that's her Necromancy effect. Of course, if you do kill all the One-Tailed Foxes instead, you get you have a 9/9 on the board to deal with, which, as we just learned, quite dangerous. But the Yuzuki side is also quite powerful. So that side destroys 4 random enemy followers, which, when you remember that there's only 5 board spaces, is kind of an insane sentence. Shabbos, hi, back to hey, we're talking about the lesbians card. You're just in time. The new lesbians card of Shadowverse. Of hot fox lady and hot demon lady. But yeah, so destroy 4 random enemy followers is in... How many of them are we up to now? True. Is basically, in 90% of cases, a board wipe. It is effectively a board wipe in a lot of cases. Because it is 4 random enemy followers, Ambush does not save you, or Aura does not save you. You blow up 4 enemy followers. The only protection you have from this is either having immunity to destruction effects, which is very rare, or having 5 followers on the board and getting lucky. And even 5 followers doesn't save you, because of course they can just super evolve and bonk off the last one. So this is a very control element side of them. Because it is just you destroy 4, you board wipe the board and heal 4, which can lead to, which obviously just deals with a lot of problems, deals with a lot of things. It kills Masterwork Artifact, it kills sneaky ambushes, it kills whatever the fuck Jean's up to. A lot of things this just deals with. Obviously less useful against things that against most board wipes, really. Yes, less useful against things that leave followers on death because it won't see them when it picks the targets. Rando target beats immunity is why I'm thinking of Yu-Gi-Oh! All of a sudden. This is basically the same. So rando targets are a bit more consistent in this because you have that incredibly cramped board space in Shadowverse. so it's usually less random than it is in other card games. And your next legendary comes in 2 cards. We have the return of Farron, White Frost Bloom, another staple Cygames character. Been appearing in many of their games and many Dragoncraft iterations in Classic. Yeah, she was added to Grand Blue Fantasy eventually. One of the later editions of the Cygames core cast. The old Rage of Bahamut characters. But yeah, Fire is a 2-play point, 2/2 Bane. Fanfare, if you're in Overflow, add a White Frost Whisper to your hand, and evolve, deal 1 damage to all enemy followers. She was kind of bad, wasn't she? Which was a shame. And White Frost Whisper is a 3-play point spell with 2 modes. One mode is to destroy all damaged followers. And the second mode is is a very interesting mode, which is increase the cost of all cards in your opponent's hand by 1 until the end of their turn. Also known as Fuck Off, Roach! Stop! Stop with your bullshit, Roach. I'm trying to ramp. This increased cost is very funny and very powerful and dangerous. Note that increasing cost does not affect enhance, so it will not make Albert for 9 into a 10-drop. But it is primarily it blocks off decks that like to play a lot of cards in a turn, so it's really annoying against Runecraft and really annoying against Forestcraft is the primary 2 ones. It's a bit annoying against Artifact, but they're usually not too bothered. It won't stop them from casting Masterwork because the Masterwork won't be in their hand when you cast it most of the time. I see... But it's generally because I see Phylane being in a lot of... Other than it's a situational effect, and that's why it's a nodal card. Because, it's... I see Phylane being in a lot of Dragon Ball, because firstly, she's an on-curve 2/2 with Bane, which is just a solid card. That's just that's just good. 2/2, 2 play points with an ability. You just like those. Those are good. Everyone's happy with those. Unless the ability is something detrimental. But even in aggressive decks, this evolve effect is very good for clearing stuff out of the way, dealing with bodies that might be off. And obviously there's the main synergy of the evolve effect being used to ping all enemy followers, and then you can use the first mode of White Frost Whisper to wipe them out. So she is a board wipe with Evo. It's the hard board wipe with Evo, which again, very useful against stuff like Tetsu and Yuzuki and the like. Because whilst Twilight Dragon was, obviously you only get the spell in Overflow, so it can be very, you're probably gonna play 1 Phylane 2, so it's not gonna be, because you're not gonna see them playing a billion copies of these spells out, 3 copies of these spells out every game. Maybe see 1 or 2. But just a strong versatile card. You'll probably see her in aggro decks as an on-curve board wipe, as an on-curve 1 damage to deal with the opponent's bullshit, so you're in less danger of dying whilst you try to beat your opponent to death. And you'll see her in control as the board wipe and the roach insurance mainly. So I can imagine most dragon decks will be running Phylane. Now here's a fun one. It's Lilanthem. Anathema of Audacity. I like this Anathema cycle. The Anathema trait doesn't do anything yet, but just mark them out as these cycle of cards, because we've got 2 of them so far, and it basically just seems to be evil hot people, and I'm all for it. So first blush, Lilanthem is an 8 play points 5/5. Not a great start, but she has Aura and Last Words Earthright 2. Summon herself again. Plus, she has a Super Evo that is just, Sylvia's Super Evo. which is fine. It's a good Super Evo. So obviously, classic Shadowverse players will know the tales of Mordecai, the unending duelist, and his many, many iterations during that time when instead of Mordecai, it was evil Alice in Wonderland. But here we have it for Dirtrune. It gives Dirtrune a very annoying threat. Because Earthright 2 in a pure Dirtrune deck is not a lot of Earthright, so it's going to be very hard to remove her. The main thing that makes her really a pain in the ass is having Aura. This means you cannot banish her with Odin. You cannot easily remove her with most targeted removal. Like, you can blow her up once with Gensetsu and Yuzuki, but then just another one, she just comes back. So she's the incredibly... And then she comes back, and then your opponent super evolves her into an 8/8 and blows up two of your things and punches you in the face. So just a general sticky, annoying one card to deal with, and very, very in line with Earthright's current identity of having this just incredibly efficient ability to make huge boards. As long as they have the Earthrights for it. As long as they have the Earth Sigils for it. Well, welcome card! And also the Super Evo means she can actually affect the board when she comes down on turn 8. That was a common problem with Mordecai style cards, is like he was an 8/8.55 that didn't do anything when he came on, he was just a 5/5 that came back when he died. We have another anathema. Time for Swordcraft. It features the return of Rally. Rally is a mechanic from Classic Shadowverse that is basically the count of how many followers have entered your side of how many followers have entered your side of the field. Which is a thing Swordcraft does quite well. They just make a lot of friends. They put a lot of people on the board. The Gildara, Anathema of Peace, as cute is. Oh, and a cute hat. Probably also has a cute tail, but we can't see it, I can't say it. But she is a 6/8.44. And for Rally 20, which is a pretty high number. I don't think, given my experience, Rally 20 is surprisingly hard. You might think, oh, Swordcraft makes loads of followers. Rally 20 is really difficult. Really easy to get, but actually I'd imagine this you won't be seeing that until like turn 9-ish, probably post Amalia, to be honest. And it's like she has, whenever another allied follower enters the field, you deal 1 damage to enemy followers, so board wipes the board whenever an allied follower enters the field, and whenever she evolves, regular or super, you summon 2 Steelclad Knights, which are the 2/2 Knights, and give them Rush. So, a pretty solid card. It's again a card mainly for mid-range wide board decks. He's very good to just play on curve and Evo, because on curve you probably won't be at Rally 20 yet, because she's very good at like dealing with a lot of various situations that your opponent can throw at you. Because you could deal with like 2 6 defense followers, 1 6 defense follower, and keep your board up. Deal with a wide board as well. Lots of deal with 2 6 cost followers. No, deal with 2 6 defense followers and 3 2/2s or 2 defense followers as well. Very useful. And so the Rally event there is so that she's also just a useful card to draw later on when you don't have the Evo point. Not really. Then you just get getting a free Super Evo is just quite good. So yeah, just it does not include followers that fall off the board. They do not hit the board, so you do gotta be careful. You only have 3 slots on the board, and you play your Luminous Mage, then you only increase your Rally by 3. This will be very important when we see some cards that are coming up later. Next, with the next of the returning Colosseum champions, we have Wilbert. He is desolate now. Everyone's favorite glasses twink. And he's here to make Wardhaven acceptable. Good, probably. Also just a solid card, kind of like what I expected. So he's a 6 play point 6/4/6 ward, which is a fine stat line. He also has Last Words, summon 2 copies of Holy Cavalier, which are these 1/2 wards. So already we've got a pretty solid card here, because a ward that makes more wards on death has always been a good card. If you've ever played Hearthstone, you know fucking like Sludge Belcher, one of the biggest pains in the arse in the game. It's probably been power creep to hell and back by now, but back in the day, Sludge Belcher, a card that was just a ward, a taunt that made a small taunt when it died. Considered incredibly powerful, and you could put it in any deck that wasn't particularly fast. But Wilbert also has a crest, and his crest, and it is a permanent crest. It has no countdown. That whenever an ally follower with ward enters the field, gives it +1/+2. So once you evolve this man, for the rest of the game, your ward followers are going to be beefy. Just generally real annoying. So your game plan is just going to be put out fat ward boards and tell your opponent, deal with this, idiot. And if they don't, you play Jean and kill them. So yeah, just the Zolgard, you'll probably see. I think this will be a very popular deck because it'll be a fairly simple game plan. It is just play ward followers and hope. Play ward followers and hope for the best. You don't need to think too hard. You just beam annoying to your opponent without like worrying too much about the end. Obviously, there will be nuances to it, but most people will play it like that. Most people will be drawn to that. It was also a very popular deck when it came out, although the crest was very different back then. Also, like, even if you aren't playing a ward-heavy deck, this crest is just really useful. Because, like, if you play this man on 6 and you evolve him, not only do you have a ward that makes wards, but these are 2/4 wards. You get 2/4 wards when this man dies if you have the crest up, which is kind of insane. But he is also being introduced into a set that is also introducing Odin and other similar effects that can say, your last words do not matter. So, there's probably some, like, aggro sword will just see Wilbert drop and go, ha, meow, and then Odin them and punch them in the face. So we'll aggro dragon, really. They'll find the other turns very annoying, though. Anyway, next up, Swordcraft card. This is the actual card, this is the token. I think. Actually, they could be... It doesn't actually mention if this is the token, but I think this is the non-joke. Usually is. We have Prim Holidaying Princess. He is a 2-play point 1/1 with Ambush, Fanfare, and a Nonya, Silent Maid to your hand. He also has Super Evolve, buff all ally followers on the field by +1/+1 other ally followers. She doesn't buff herself. That's a pretty alright. But what does Nonya do? Nonya is a 2-play point 2/2 with different allied Prim Holidaying Princesses on the field, getting +1/+1 and Bane. And has Ward. So just a handy pair of bodies, really. They don't like play like it's not like 2 bodies and like getting your two cards on the board already, but they're 2 like singularly solid followers. Like you can play Prim on the early turns, especially if you're going like second, you can play point out Prim and then play Nonya, and you've got a pretty solid start there. And then you can choose to either keep Prim around. Probably you'd be more aggressive if you're playing her that early, because otherwise she risks just dying to Apollo. This is not great. Plus, it's just handy to have the Super Evolve gives her some utility later on because, like, if your opponent leaves your board up, you have a 2 play point board buff, which is quite good, especially in Swordcraft when you're making lots of followers. So the fact that it's like access to a cheap board buff that also has some extra value in it as well is just good, just solid, just a nice handy card to have. Maybe she'll see a lot of play, maybe she won't. Probably various amounts. The Demon Maid is very cool. Now we next have, this is where things are getting very weird. There's Urius, Levin Transcender. He's finally come to Swordcraft after doing plenty of backstabbing in Bloodcraft and Shadowverse Classic. He has an 8 play point, 5/7 with trait 11, which doesn't matter at the moment. He has a Fanfare, which summons 2 enemy knights to your opponent's field, which is... doesn't sound good, but then you see his passive ability, which is whenever he sees an enemy follower enter the field, until the end of your opponent's turn, it cannot attack, and then he pings them for 1 and heals you for 1. This is where we start introducing the tactic of board locking your opponent. Because what happens when you immediately play this man is he puts 2 guys on. He gums up 2 of your opponent's board spaces with a 1/1 follower that can't attack, and then he pings them, and then he hits them for 2 and heals you for 2. And then if they don't remove him first before playing in any other followers, they get hit with not being able to attack, and you get pinged for 1, and they heal for 1. This is incredibly rude. Like, in decks with more hard removal, he's less annoying, but against stuff like Roach, like Forest in general, really. For a lot of Forest and Puppet in general, this guy just locks down a lot of what they want to do. He's really annoying in the Sword Mirror as well, because again, he's locking your board space behind knights. He does increase your rally. He does increase the opponent's rally count. Doesn't matter for Gildara. But yeah, he's just he's being very rude. He's burdening you with 2 guys. Sometimes what you need is not 2 guys. You do not want those guys. You want those guys gone. You want those guys out of here. But he is going to give them to you unless you don't have space for them. But yeah, very, very annoying card. Well, let's see. Definitely going to be a staple card in slower, grindier Swordcraft decks. He also just helps give them the breathing room to set up for that, so that his boyfriend Albert could come down next turn. That like locks your opponent down from being able to put up a decent wall or anything. He stops things like an artifact Ralmir board because they don't have the space for that anymore, especially if they have a cannon on field. He stops he makes it very difficult for Roach to get in. Roach does have answers, but their answer is mainly asked to 0 play point Bales, and they don't really have any other response to him. They can't really do much else to him. Depends on if they get some other removal cards. Otherwise, he does handily just stop Roach from playing the game. And also, again, the 1/1s are gumming up their board. They probably have a couple of amulets on board. Make them... so they really just don't have the board space to do a lot of the things that they want. So yeah, very rude card, very mean. Will be interesting to see how it plays out. People are going to get mad. That is very funny. I mean, next we have another funny card. It's Pascal's Dance. Pascal has been a fairly common recurring card in Earthright Root. And he does this very interesting thing. He's always been about doubling the attack and defense of your followers, but usually only at the end of your turn, because for various reasons. This is a weird card. 2 play point spell, gain an Earth Sigil, which gives you a crest with countdown 1, and at the end of your turn, the crest draws you a card, and then performs Earthright 10. Double the attack and defense of all allied followers on the field. So what this card... So like if you look at this card in pure Earthright, I think it's not a good fit. One, it is just a worse Witch's Brew in most cases. It's 1 Earth Sigil and you draw a card at the end of your turn for 2 play points, when you were already doing that for 1 play point. So I would not play this card in pure... I don't think this card will see play in pure Earthright. What this card will see play in is what's actually kind of emerging. What we did see a bit of in on the screen in the tournament is a more hybrid Earthright spell boost deck, because it's a spell, so it's spell boost. So it means it has value to spell boost, and spell boost is actually does have the options, especially if they get more cards like this, of actually building up a large stack. Because they don't actually use the stack very much, but they can build. Currently, the hybrid Earthright decks use the spell boost to get the free Evo for the Sagelight Ward lady. I forget her name, and to be able to do the board clear with Sagelight's teachings. And this kind of says, okay, here, what if you use your large... You just simply stack up your Earthrights, don't spend them on anything else, or maybe just 1 or 2 things, like maybe a single Sagelight's teachings you clear the board, just to have that option. And then you have this really nasty turn where you drop like a massive board with your with your Blaze Destroyers or whatnot, and other stuff, and then you burn all your Earth Sigils to double their stats and leave your opponent in a very difficult position, especially if you get that fairly early on. But if they get more spells that add Earth Sigils, that's very powerful. Remember, you can always you do have the ability to engage your Earth Sigil for 1 play point to increase it as well, which... And so yeah, like in a full-on Earthright deck, you're probably not going to be able to save up to Earthright 10. I don't think that's going to be a feasible idea. You're spending your Earthright, you're using too much Earthright to actually play your deck in that case. Also in a hybrid deck, you can just sit on your Earthright stacks, your Earth Sigil stacks, and eventually this might still be a bit of a joke card, because it is doubling your stats at the end of turn. Your opponent's playing hard removal, then your big giant monsters don't really matter much anyway, but it will probably lead to some... As if I want to play the Super Bowl, this is good. Play things that you enjoy. Have fun. Be happy. Encourager. But yeah, so an interesting card might not... Depends how well it fits into... No worries, no worries. Like hybrid rune. That's where I really only see this playing. It's like it's not going to be in your Earthright, because your Earth Sigils are mostly going to be eaten by Lilanthem. Like, you don't want to make a huge Lilanthem, double her stats at the end of turn, and then just have her get bonked off by a Bane and then die forever because you don't have any Earthrights left because you used them all for the stats doubler. Yeah, I think it's not gonna be a pure Earthright card, it's gonna be a hybrid card. And next we have Draconic Strike, here to bring another storied classic Dragoncraft mechanic. Yeah, there's Urias being an absolute jerkbag. We were just talking about him. It's here to gum up your board with dudes that are a burden to you. But his next card is Draconic Strike. 6 play point Dragoncraft spell. brings us to cost reduction. Which is a thing. Cost reducing something in your hand has been a thing Dragoncraft's actually had quite a while, because it's kind of like a pseudo ramp. It kind of matches their class identity very well. Yeah, Abyss is probably the class that that Urius is least affected by, because they have access to all the wood chippers, and you give them 2/1/1s, and they go, "Thanks for the free wood chipper fodder, dumbass." So he's definitely at a disadvantage against Abyss, but that's one class out of 7. So he's still not that bad. And also, they have to have the wood chippers available, and that might still stop them from, say, playing Cerberus and killing you that turn. Which is a highly likely situation. Okay, so Dragon Cross reduces a card in your hand by the cost of your card by 2 and deals 3 damage to all enemy followers. So there's just a lot of things that you can do with this. You can drop an early Prince of Coctus, you can any kind of like your big finishes you can drop early, or you can make Zell a 1 cost and play him alongside a bunch of stuff. You can now feasibly play Zell alongside Chalkman, which is pretty scary. So yeah, like as a 6 play point spell that only deals 3 damage, it's not always going to clear unless you. So that kind of makes it good. But 6 damage that deals 3, like Haven has one of those that just puts a 2/2 storm into play, and that's also pretty good. So just have to be aware of this when playing against Ramp Dragon, I think, just being like, okay, they can clear me for 3 pretty easily, so if I want to avoid this, I want to put some more stuff. It's like got 4 or more defense in. Yeah, there will definitely be scary things happening. You have to, and I think like the main thing that comes to mind again is 8 play point Prince of Coctus, because this is not limited to Dragoncraft followers. They can cost reduce neutral followers for some reason. But I think because it's a big chunky spell that doesn't actually get them any cards or anything, and doesn't like put a board on themselves, it doesn't heal, it doesn't give them a board, it doesn't do anything but board clear. I think it's pretty all right. Won't be too busted. And also, like, Ramp Dragon needs the help, to be honest. Next we have Forestcraft card. A 2 play point spell. Garden's Guidance. It is a 2 play point spell. It's Fusion. So now we have people outside of Artifact getting access to Fusion again. Because Fusion was never originally a Portalcraft mechanic, it was a general mechanic, it was a set mechanic when it was initially introduced, and then it just kind of like stuck around as a useful thing. And this is actually a fairly, Forestcraft has actually had a lot of Fusion cards. For one primary, and their main function is to get crap out of your hand without having to play them. Like, so you can fuse Forestcraft cards to this. And you draw a card. It is a 2 play point spell that draws a card. If it's fused with at least 1 card, you draw 2 cards instead. The primary function of a card like this, there has been several cards like these printed in Shadowverse Classic. And the primary function is to not just fuse a single card to it. It is to look at your hand and go, wow, I have too much crap and I'm about to overdraw. And then you funnel as much of your crap as you can reasonably use into this card just to replace them with 2 cards. Because Forestcraft has really bad hand management problems. And they can very easily overdraw. There's sometimes you just like, I have cards I do not need. Thankfully, Garden's Guidance is here to just give you a wood chipper to funnel your fairies in for basically no real benefit. But also, it's like otherwise, it's all you just can turn a fairy into a different card, which is all. Next we have another forest garden. You might have too many fairies that you need to just like get rid of because you might be playing Titania Winged Queen, which is a 4 play.22. Fanfare, summon a fairy, and fanfare is also that you gain her crest. The evolve is another returning Shadowverse mechanic that wasn't in the base set, which is to transform an enemy follower. You transform an enemy follower into a fairy, which is very powerful. Because it's not that follower anymore. It doesn't have whatever abilities or last words it has. It's a fairy now. When it dies as a fairy, which means you cannot reanimate it. Effects that are trigger when something leaves the battlefield. If something has an effect that triggers when it leaves the battlefield for any reason, it does not trigger. Affects so many more other effects simply do not matter. And thankfully, again, it is a target, which means that our beloved Queen of Dirt, Lilanthem, is not at risk of being turned into a fairy. So that's reassuring. But yeah. And also, whilst that's a powerful effect. That's basically a hard removal effect that ignores last words. Like you say, Wilbert, you're a fairy now, whatever. Fucking whatever annoying Shadowcraft thing that you don't want them reanimating, you're a fairy now. All these many options and more. The crest is also very good because the crest simply puts a fairy into your hand at the start of turn, which will be useful in... So probably not that playable in Roach, because I think this card doesn't help Roach's game plan, really. Roach just wants a couple of fairies in hand at any one time, really. It doesn't really want to have a massive, overflowing abundance of fairies. Well, it might still play it, but I think it's less likely that it'll play the Roach. What it will be played in is Fairy Aggro, and Rose Queen, because it gives you a steady supply of cards that you can eventually turn into the burn spell, which is kind of what she needed, because it was kind of hard for you to control, because currently Rose Queen is a bit awkward because you have to use fairies as board control and then also keep enough fairies to kill your opponent after you've played Rose Queen. When you play, look, you need to keep enough fairies in hand to when you play Rose Queen, and this just gives you access to loads more fairies, whilst also being a very good control card with the evolve. But yeah, very good card. You'll see it in Fairy Aggro because they always want more fairies, and Rose Queen because it wants more one playpoint cards. And similar vein of Fairy, we got a Fairy Aggro card as well. Cynthia, I didn't translate her other name. This is a 4 play.43 with Fanfare Summon 2 Fairies, which is pretty damn good. That's just good. Might be too good. But also, evolve, give all your pixie followers, which is fairies, currently just fairies. They haven't introduced any other pixie type followers, but again, this probably means they will introduce some in the first place, like fairy wisp, whatever. +1/+0. So again, a very good fairy aggro fairy card. If you got any fairies lingering on the board, then she gets to buff them after you've played. Once you have Arya's Crest, those obviously have Storm as well. So it gives you another option alongside. Like you can play this as like on turn 6. Actually, no. I guess it would be turn 8 or 7. Yeah, turn 7 for 7 play points. Let's just say you can play Cynthia, play a fairy, play Faye Twinkletoes, and evolve Cynthia, and you've got an evoed, 6/5 to bump off whatever they've played, and 9 damage worth of Storm Fairies. So Fairy aggro is probably going to enjoy this a lot. Anyway, on the next, so not much to say about it other than it's a good Fairy aggro card. Also just a good solid card. It's a very good on-tempo play. Because the fairies have rush. Standard now. So just having the 2 fairies on here is good. We have Laura, Cruel War. I'm not entirely sure that's the correct translation. But is a 3-play.32 this craft. Laura was a Bloodcraft follower previously. A Fanfare, which is to give an allied follower on the field Bane. And Super Evolve, to give an allied follower on the field Storm. So this is the same Super Evolve as Zell Windreader and Dragoncraft, so Abyss and Dragoncraft have functionally very similar cards. Zell just has better stats, and is in a card that is in a deck with access to ramp and cost reduction, whilst Laura isn't. And there's a few things you can do with this. Like, this will probably be more played with reanimate effects in order to get high attack followers out for cheaper, and then giving them Storm via Laura's Super Evolve. Because, like, the obvious target currently is Medusa, but that's a turn 10 play. Medusa it still only does that'll only do 9 damage. And it's kind of clunky, but I think, yeah, it'll probably, because you can usually reanimate a follower for cheaper than you could play it, it'll probably be like, if we get like something that like reanimates 6 or whatever, and a decently beefy follower to play along with. If we get reanimate 7, that will be very funny. You just need to figure out how to get Caravan Mammoth into your bin. I mean, now this is a very interesting one. This is Lamaga, Untamed Wild. Having a very different appearance than what she had in her original appearance in Shadowverse. Because originally she was more of an aggro follower. She had Storm, she had an effect that pulled her out of your deck if you'd played enough of her Amazon cards. So it's very weird that she's a control option now. But she is a very good control option. She's a 7-play.77, which is actually understated, because we all know that 7 play points for 7 play points vanilla stat line is a 10-10, apparently. 7-play.77 with Fanfare. Choose 2 enemy followers on the field, and you tell them they cannot attack followers or leaders until the end of turn. So same effect as Urias. It's like the wording's different because Urias was translated, whilst this is obviously the official card wording. But it's the same effect. But hers is on Fanfare and picks 2. So, whilst Urias is just I see a card come into play, I tell it can't attack, is you 2 nerds. No fighting. For a turn. So similar kind of board control. You lock up their spaces with their own followers this time, rather than locking them up with 2 1/1 dudes. And a Super Evolve is very interesting. The Super Evolve picks 2 enemy followers, doesn't have to be the ones that can't attack, can be 2 others, and gives them gives them a little effect. That means it's at the end of each turn, that's important, that's not just your own turn or your opponent's turn, each turn, deal 1 damage to your own leader and 2 damage to this follower. This is important, because if you select 2 followers that can't attack and then you tell those 2 followers that they are going to ping their own leader for 1 at the end of each turn, assuming they survive the 2 damage to themselves. And your opponent doesn't have a way to mulch them because they're playing Abysscraft. Your opponent isn't playing Abysscraft and doesn't just mulch them for card draw or killing Lamaga. That is 6 damage on a control card, which is very important. Which makes me think this might actually see play in Roach. Like, as a possible, because Roach already plays a 7-drop control card. It's the Ward Lady who heals and, destroys a thing. They might swap her out for Lamaga. But then again, because Lamaga's effect is on a Super Evo, that might also dissuade them, because they usually want to use need to use their Super Evos for Baby Carbuncle or just increasing their Roach damage. So it's unsure if this will see play in Roach. Definitely will see play in Rose Queen decks, which means through her Titania and Rose Queen means the Rose Queen forest is officially MILF Forest. As it's just filled with hot older women who want you to just get shot to death by roses, apparently. Yeah, solid card. So yeah, interesting card. Of course, you can use the Super Evolve to deal with other threats of the board. Like, if your opponent's got stuff that you don't want attacking and also stuff you want to remove, you can put the effect on stuff that's going to die to the 2 effect at the end of your turn, because stuff that only has 2 defense or whatever. So very versatile in how you want to use it. You can either prioritize doing damage to your opponent, removing big threats over a course of turns whilst they can't attack, or just like spreading it out to slow your opponent down generally. Like, this theoretically deals with an entire board on Super Evo, because you lock down 2, you Super Evo 2 others that will die to the 2 damage ping, and then you bonk another one. You dealt 3 damage whilst dealing with your opponent's board, all for 7 mana in a Super Evo. Not bad. Not bad at all. Anyway, here we get to an important card because it's a Portalcraft card. The first Portalcraft reveal is Cornelia, Afterglow of Darkness. That doesn't sound like a translation that will make it into the official release. Who is, importantly, a 2-play.22 that makes an artifact. We now have a second one to put in the deck. Everyone rejoice. Well, the artifact players rejoice, because we get to play and is a cute girl. So far, fingers crossed, Artifact Portal can become just cute girls again. Don't you fucking make Karula into a Portal staple card, you fuckers. Probably going to be, like, generally useful for Portal and people. Anyway, there's a Gear of Remembrance, which is the one that you can make a ward with if you fuse into it. It just has a very interesting evolve effect that I think is going to make a big difference. You select an artifact follower in your hand, and you give it ward and can't be destroyed by effects. It can be destroyed by... It can still take damage from effects and be destroyed that way, but it can't be destroyed by effects. And the primary thing that comes to mind is Doomrite Resurgence. Because this means that if you then make a copy of that follower from Doomrite Resurgence, that isn't going to die at the end of your opponent's turn. So now Doomrite Resurgence makes at least one... Once you've buffed an artifact with this effect, whenever you summon it via Doomrite Resurgence, it's no longer... It's now a permanent artifact rather than a temporary one. So that makes that quite powerful. It is also still very good for also playing alongside for when it's summoned via Alouette or Ralmia. Because it still limits the removal options your opponent has. Like, you can make maybe even 2 parts of your Ralmia board immune to Chalice, which is quite strong against Havencraft. it's immune to the random destruction effects from Insetsu and Yuzuki. Lots of things that just making that artifact, because you can then copy that artifact multiple times, makes it really quite annoying. So I think this is a very and quite powerful and does a very good job of making like realm your boards a lot. So what I kind of hope this means is also we get a few more, like at least one more card that's kind of like. Yeah, it does still share the same problem of the artifact portal is still having, is where it burns through evo points really fast. Like, you do have to think, is this worth an evo point over an Alouette or over a thing? I think it will be if they add more cards like Doomrite Resurgence. Like, I would like to see perhaps like a 3 play point spell that just makes one artifact instead of 2 artifact copies. And it has the same, destroys itself at the end of your opponent's turn effect as Doomrite Resurgence does. Because also that gives Portal Craftman access to a turn 5 play that isn't just Alouette or Artifact Cannon. Ancient Cannon, sorry. Artifact Cannon's a much older version. Second classic. Very giant. So yeah, so I'd like to see more, just like 1 or 2 more effects that do that. But importantly, it is also just another having a 2/2 that for 2 that adds a gear in your hands. That's like probably the most powerful effect of the card. The evolve effect is an interesting effect that will be quite useful, but you will, regardless of if that effect ends up being worth the evo points or not, you will play this card because you want a 2/2 for 2 play points that adds an artifact into your hand. Because sadly, Electric Whiplash is just not good enough as a 1/3. Poor girl. So yeah, definitely going to see lots of her in Artifact Portal. Obviously not where else because she doesn't fit in any other in Hobbit's Hall. And finally, so this is the card that was just revealed recently. This is Aether of the Sky. Havencraft. Very interesting card that probably a Ward Haven card by looks at it. So she's a 7 player point, 2/4 Ward. With Fanfare, summon 3 randomly different followers from your deck that cost 3 or less. Super Evo, give all other allied followers on the field 0, +0, +2, and Aura. So this is very clearly, you get your Wilbert Crest out, and then you play Aether, she pulls a bunch of wards out of your deck, everyone gets buffed, then you super revolve Aether, and everyone gets buffed anymore in Aura, and you just have the most annoying board in existence ever. And then probably like 2 or 3 of the followers survive the next turn, and then you play Jean. And Aura can't be targeted by effects, so they cannot anything that targets can't hit them. So, as I said, so Lemiga's select to any followers can't target them. You can't transform them with Titania. Well, anything that picks a single target cannot target something with Aura. So yeah, this is going to be a pain in the ass. And you're going to be like, oh, I wish I was playing Haven now so I can blow them up with a big cup. The other thing, if you're playing this in Wilbert, right? You're playing this in Wilbert, they're already going to get +1, +2 from Wilbert's crest. And then on Super Evo, they get another +2 on their behind. So that's +4 defense to all of your wards. The only consolation here is that she doesn't interact with the opponent's board in any way. She does not board clear. She does not target, remove anything else on the opponent's board. She does not. She only interacts via the Super Evo. So if your opponent has a wide board, it is a bit of a problem because they'll be able to possibly easily contest your ward followers, especially if they have a board clear, if they have a strong board clear of their own. Like if you're, say, against Dragoncraft and a Twilight Dragon thing. I don't see it as a win more card because, like, she's putting the followers. She's building the board herself. She doesn't want that. She doesn't want there to be an existing board on your own. And like the board of, even if your opponent does have stuff on the board, it is still going to be a powerful obstacle that can very likely still stop them. Very few classes are going to have answer to this. Like Portal is going to have a bad time. Swordcraft is going to have a bad time. So many cards will look at this and go, ah, does that 4 health? That 4 health beats out, like, puts them out of range of most board clears. Like, this will put them out of most of your cheap wards out of range of Jean. It'll put them, like, as long as they have at least 3 health, they'll be out of range of Jean. They'll be out of range of most of Portalcraft's board clears. It'll be hard. The puppet player will have to commit an Orcus and then trade all of their Bane followers in, which slows down their game plan quite a lot. Abysscraft, at best, Abysscraft only has Abysscraft does have the Gensetsu and Yuzuki, obviously, but that comes down much later than Aether. Aether comes down on 7, they come down for 9. So you're not going to, if they play this on curve, you aren't going to have that option to deal with them. So yeah, it is. I don't think it's a win more card. I think it is definitely a continue winning card, basically. Because it's very easy for turn 7 to your opponent just not be able to establish a board. Gino doesn't clear the board. Like, the only reliable board clears are, again, like Unholy Chalice in Unholy Chalice, Twilight Dragon if against Ramp Dragon, because obviously it's too slow for non-Ramp Dragon to play at this point, and Runecraft's board wipe guy. So it is just a real threat. It's basically like Wardhaven's equivalent to Ralmia, of just like, here is a board, deal with it or perish. But it can turn. I think it's not a win more because it can turn games around, but you can't like. But you can like play against it, so to speak. Because you can be like, okay, you're going to do this. Like, if you play this, if you are playing Portal and I know Portal is kind of not great against Puppet Portal. Has the problems, but they can deal with it. But it does cost them a super Evo unless they've stockpiled a shitload of puppets. So yeah. But I don't really read it as a win more card. I read it as Wardcraft's main finisher, basically. This is how Wardcraft wins the game. How Wardhavencraft wins the game, really. If they didn't have something that a similar effect to this, they would struggle to win games, I think. Because you want to have an annoying board that's hard for your opponent to deal with so that you can then curve into Jean and end the game there. And the only way to do that is either Storm Wards, which they haven't shown yet, or, again, a very annoying board to deal with. It's also a similar effect, similar to Romeo. This does pull the cards out of your deck, so it does, like, cut your deck down, cut down the cheaper followers out of your deck when you don't really want them at this point. That's very useful. That means you're more likely to draw your Jeans. Other late game wards, or more annoying wards like additional Wilberts and whatever. But yeah, that's all the current. Let's refresh the page, see if another reveal. Will a new reveal materialize? No. Right. But I think, as much as I would like to keep playing Shadowverse, talking about Shadowverse. So yeah, this set's looking very. It definitely looks like a more rounding out of the current existing cards. It's all starting. You're not going to see new decks. You're going to see decks that kind of. You're going to mostly see decks that were kind of there, but not really. That are kind of here now, but not really. Kind of like come into their own, and more of the other decks getting refined. And I think it. I'm confident because it's been positive so far that this will lead to a very healthy. It'll probably have a very healthy and diverse meta. And it'll be fun. There's lots of fun effects here. Fun cards to play. Looking forward to more cool robot shit, basically. Show me more Portalcraft cards soon, please. But unfortunately, it is very warm. It's so warm today. I'm gonna blame that for my earlier misplay. Oh, I was removed due to extended activity. I see. Inactivity. Not extended activity. Extended inactivity. Yeah, I think I'm going to pull that because it is just far too warm to keep streaming. If I play the games, I'm gonna get a little make mistake. Right, I get my rewards. Gimme. I can hoard for. I haven't actually hoarded that many rupees for the next set, but I'll be fine. They're giving away. What's really nice is that they are giving away a free deck with each new set. I think will make a lot of people happy. Hopefully silence a lot of the grumblers, because that is more generous than original Shadowverse. They did not give you a free pre-built set every pre-built deck every set. They gave you a free temporary set, temporary deck every set, which means the cards, when the next rotation happens, they're just gone. But they don't have temporary cards in Worlds Beyond. They just give you the cards, and it's fine, and it's great, and it's amazing. Wah! Who cares if you can't vial if you have 3 or less? Make better decisions, idiot. You know, they're like... Yeah, no, I'm tired and hot and warm. I'm done for today. Nice short stream. There you go. I need to, like... I think I'll probably spend the rest of this evening, like, trying to spruce up my... Well, tomorrow as well, really. Spruce up my stream setup. I want to, like... have a bit more cohesive, have a bit more... Because, like, currently, this, like, especially this screen's very empty at the moment. So make it look nice. And I've got a few ideas how to do that on a fairly simple... Yeah, my throat's getting very sore now because it's too warm and I don't have enough water. Ooh, do we? Boomst. Looking oh so raidable. Many people, goddamn. Oh, oh. The Donathon of the lovely Frogcast. Playing fucking endless amounts of Mario Kart World, apparently. That'll be a fun, amusing watch. But yeah, I am going to go, like, pour ice directly down my shirt or something. Bye!